Alrighty, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Once again, we're doing some more Shadow Warrior 3 achievement / trophy guides. Now for this specific video, we're going to be talking about the coaching is overrated, which pretty much means to obtain all the upgrades available in the game. Unfortunately, this game does not have chapter select, so you do actually have to do this all in one playthrough. I know it kind of sucks. You know, you would think that at this point games would kind of automatically have chapter selects, but they still don't. So just a heads up, there are a total of 77 upgrades, 58 of them which are actually out in the open, and then 19 of them are through the challenges. So if you have played this game already, there are little challenges that you have to do. None of them are really that hard. So I would definitely recommend going for those challenges as soon as possible. There are some areas where you can get some of them, not all of them, of course. And the challenges do not open until like chapter 2 or I guess level 2, whichever way you want to call it. But I would definitely recommend going for those first. You have the entire missions to do this, but just try to farm them. Alrighty, so just right before we get started, if this video helps you out, I would appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I will have other smaller trophy / achievement guides for this game, but if you do happen to help with some other ones, let me know down in the section below, and let me know what I can improve on, as I am not used to making collectible guides. So yeah, anyways, hopefully this works out. Good luck, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so chapter 1 does not have any collectibles. This is literally in the beginning of chapter 2. Chapter 2 has a total of 5 upgrades. So just a heads up, a couple of them are literally just like in your way, like as you'll see right now. This one is literally just right there, so just a heads up. Here's number 1 of chapter 2. This next part, it's pretty much, again, in our way. Just follow where I go, and you'll easily have access to it. Again, I would recommend to write down which ones you already got, because once again, like I told you, if you miss one, you literally have to do all of them all over again. So I would recommend writing them down, and this should be number 2 of chapter 5, of chapter 2, I apologize. This next one is after you do like a little boss fight where you can't go anywhere. This is the part where the bridge is going to fall down, and then this little cutscene is going to pop out. But don't worry, again, just skip the cutscene, and instead of going to the left, make your way over to the right, and behind this little cliff, there should be number 3 of chapter 2. Now, next up, this one is after you fight the little mini boss with the hammer. Again, it's literally in our path. So just go up to it, and yeah. So the purple ones are character upgrades, and then the gray ones are weapons. But literally from that exact same moment, we're just gonna go over, continue to the our same path. Just literally follow exactly where I go. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can either just do mine, where I go over to the left, and there is our final upgrade for chapter 2. Alrighty, so now on to chapter 3. Again, there's a total of 5 upgrades in this one. This is literally in the beginning of chapter 3. This is where Rocket, the raccoon, has our mask. So all we gotta do is just follow him. There's gonna be this little part right here where we're gonna wall run, and the raccoon's gonna be right there still. Instead of chasing him forward, head on over to the right, as there's a little cliff right there. Just follow exactly where we go. Wall run to this little side. And there's the first upgrade of chapter 3. Alright, so next up, this is where we're going to have some little boss fight. Just shoot down the little vines. And this one is going to be right there, right in front of us. So don't worry too much about that. And next on up, exactly from that same moment, just follow exactly where we go. We're going to have to do wall run 3 times. Well, I guess twice, and then climb up once. We're going to continue following him. But this time, when he jumps down and starts going down, instead of going forward, make sure to just look back to your right, or to your left, excuse me. And that's where the next one is. So again, we're just going to go over to the left. There's going to be a little cliff over here where we have to wall run to. Look up and jump up. And that's where the third one out of 5 is at. Now this next one, do not worry, it's like pretty deep inside the story, so you know, don't think like you missed anything. This is where you gotta wall run twice. Now instead of going over to the right, head on over to the left, and there should be your 4th out of the 5th one. So hopefully we're doing pretty good. Now, again, this is after another boss fight, so you have to shoot down the vine. It's pretty much, it's like you have to. We're going to go over to this little part where you come across a tree. Now, the last one for this one is going to be underneath the tree. And this should be your 5th out of 5 for Chapter 3. Alrighty, so now we're on to Chapter 4. This one has 6 collectibles. Now this is just a little preview of where you have to go. It's where you have to go from on top of a little bridge all the way on top. There's a little green lamp. Again, this is straight like right towards the story. Instead of going over to the right towards the ledge, we're going to go over to the left, and then you'll see from far away that there is a little orb flashing, and there's 1 out of 6 for Chapter 4. So now next up, this is the part where some little flying dudes pop out. This is where you got to shoot the little vine. This is still going towards like the main storyline. Now, instead of going forward right there, you see that there's like this little round bridge. We're going to want to go on top, as there is going to be 2 of them right here back to back. So the second one should be right on top of the little bridge. And now the one right after this, it's actually behind this little tree right there. And don't worry, if you actually fall, don't worry, you can literally get back up like the same way. So it should be kind of hidden right there behind the tree, and boom. And as you can see, we're back to the little part from the beginning. Now this is just a little bit forward, like a couple minutes or so. This is where we gotta do some of the little acrobatic stuff. And again, this one's part of the main story again. So don't think like you're missing anything. It's literally right there. You're gonna be attacked by these dudes over here. So just make sure to shoot them down. Apologize if you guys can hear my dog. And then this next part is where this beam is gonna fall on you. Again, another one that's straightforward. See, it feels like Chapter 4 just has one of those that are just kind of like all like just given to you in a sense. So here's 5 out of 6, and now this is where a little cutscene is gonna happen. And don't worry, this is not Chapter 5. This is a little cutscene that happens. Now instead of going to your right, head on over to your left, duck under. And as soon as you climb over these 2 little vines right here, it should be on the top of the second one. So there's 1, 2, and right there, ladies and gentlemen. 6 out of 6 for Chapter 4. Moving on. Alrighty, so now on to Chapter 5. And yes, you guys can see on screen, 11 collectibles. Now this is somewhat fairly in the beginning of the mission. We're just gonna keep on going. Again, not much context here, which is why I'm kind of showing a little bit more video. This is where you'll see a bunch of crystals. Still, again, probably not the best thing, but just a heads up. This is the little part that you want to look at. There's like a little ammo refill thing over there. Instead of going towards the ammo refill, head on over to the left, and there should be your first upgrade. Now this next one is where there's a bunch of like boss fights. Instead of actually opening the vine, head on over on top, and there's another vine, and that's where our second collectible is at. Now a little bit forward from just from breaking that boss vine right there, you'll come to this section where a bunch of like little dudes are gonna pop out here, as you can see on screen. This is probably just like the best context that I can give you. It should be pretty straightforward, but just in case if you are just having issues, it's this little part. And hopefully at this point too, you're actually farming to get the challenges. You'll get to this little part where it's kind of like pinkish purplish. Go on over to this little side. Now don't go forward right there, look up instead, and there should be a little pull-up thing. Wall run to this little section. And then this is where our third collectible is at for Chapter 5. Now, this next part is this section where it's going to get a little annoying. This is where a bunch of little mini bosses are going to pop out at you, including like the drill ones, the jack-in-the-box ones. So this is all still part of the story. You're going to have to shoot these little levers and just pretty much follow exactly what I do. As soon as you get on top, these little flying dudes are gonna get in there. These are probably like some of the most annoying ones, those and the jack-in-the-box ones. But do not worry, this is still all part of like the main storyline. It's just, instead of going, down, you're gonna have to go on top. Now this is the one where you gotta shoot right there. This little platform is gonna go down, and that's the way to go. But do not go that way. That's still going towards the mission. Just look back. Wait for the lever to go all the way up. Or the platform. Climb up on top. And there's another upgrade right there. Now, from this exact same moment, we're just going to kind of go back down. I know it's a little bit dark right here, so I do apologize. But we're just going to go back to that little part where we were intended to go the first part. Now, this is part of the actual story, so this is one that you cannot miss. So there's 5. We're almost halfway towards all 11. Now, this next part is a boss fight. This is where the first, like, samurai enemy comes out. It's the guy with the giant-ass sword. Look over to your right, shoot the lever, and this little platform should go down. As you can see, we can already see the upgrade. Wait for the platform to go back on top. Make your way on top right here through these vines, and then just jump twice and dash to make it over there. And that should be 6. So we're a little bit more than halfway now. This next part is where the little cutscene happens where you fall down. It's kind of like a little cutscene that you can't skip at first. But head on over, take a huge right. And this is actually where the saw weapon should pop out for you. So this is where you can also continue with your challenges. This is one of the challenges with this weapon. So there's where you can see that golden statue. Just kind of climb up on top of this little rock. If not, you can just go around. This is just like, I guess, an easier way. And this is where another one of the upgrades should be. So again, hopefully you are doing the challenges by this point, farming. This next part, again, is part of the story. So, you know, it's not like you can miss. As you can see, there's a weapon upgrade right there. The question is how to get it. We got to go open that door. Head on over to the side. Shoot the vines as the doors will open now. And this should give us good access to get over to that upgrade. Again, this is part of the story. This is another one that you can't miss. This is something you have to do. So just keep on going forward. Jump over, jump twice, and then dash. And then we're going to head on over to that part. Now, this is where a bunch of boss fights is going to happen again. Instead of opening the vine straight away, you can go towards the back. There's a little run point, wall run section. There's a couple vines behind that. And there's the upgrade. Now we're gonna make our way back to where we were supposed to intend. Break down the bridge, but instead of going forward on the bridge, we're gonna go over to the side to the left. Wall run over here, and this is where our 10th upgrade is gonna be. And just one more, and don't worry, because just exactly from this little point, we're just gonna go jump back into the bridge where you can pull over from right there. And go forward. This is literally from the story, and this one should be right there, right available, and that should be your last collectible for chapter 5. And don't worry, this is the only one that has 11. So we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, so now do not worry about the next part. This is where you're gonna have to be chasing the eggs, so not worry about anything like that. The only part you should care is once you get your way into that little boat with the egg. Now, straight out from that little section, as you saw right there, where the little thing is going to pretty much hurt us. Go on over to these little ledges. Now, this one's going to be kind of floating up, so if you don't get it, just kind of keep on trying again. See, as you can see there, I died, but I went and check over again, and I already had it, so pretty cool. But again, it's literally like in the beginning. This next part is where there's a little boss fights. Literally, it's right in your way, so you can't really miss it. But instead of jumping over to the bridge or to the little boat, head on over to the right as there is another one. So now break down this vine and there just pull up, and we're halfway into chapter 6 already. Again, it should be hopefully a little bit easier. Now this next part is where there's a little waterfall. Do not worry, like there's none of them that you can actually miss, so do not worry. So now just jump over there. Now you can directly go over to the right, or you can still keep on going forward. You can still make it over. As you can see right there, that's the little section you end up anyways. So you can just make your way over there, so it doesn't matter which way you go. And here's your 4th out of 6. Collectible. Now keep on going forward. This is where you break a little vine. We're going to jump these little platforms that have some like little lanterns. And again, this one's right there in front of you, so you should not be able to miss this one. And then we're just going to need one more. And then luckily for us, this next one is right in our path right now. Well, it's not like in our path, but like it's literally from that same moment. Just jump over these 2 platforms. Go over to the vine. Now, jump on top from this little section. It should be over in that little platform, which we cannot reach at the moment, but instead of going forward, there's a little entrance. Now just going through that little cave, we're going to jump over to this little section, and there should be our final collectible for Chapter 6. Moving on to Chapter 7, this is a little section where you have to fight a couple mini-bosses, but also the part where like a bunch of those guys on the balloons are at, so... this is literally like right after beating them. This is the little section where you'll see like a little bunny. Instead of going forward, turn to the left, and there's an orb under that little cave. Now, right away from this spot, turn back around and go the actual legit way where we were supposed to go. So cross this little path thing right here. And the next one should be right there in front of us. It's along the path. And don't worry for the third one. This is still along the story, so don't feel like you're missing out anything. This is where you're going to fight a bunch of mini bosses, okay? Like a bunch of them. This is also where like the mummy one comes out. So just for context. Anyways, this is the little section where you have to go anyways. This is where a giant ass golden statue. It's the only time it pops out in the story from as where I'm aware. Now instead of going over to the left, make sure to look back and climb up these two little vines, and then there should be the third one. Now continue with your progress right there. Now this is towards the end. This is where you gotta activate the gun. Just go down where the main gun is at. There's the fourth collectible. Now from that same spot, just follow where I go. We're gonna go forward, jump over to this little section, and at the bottom of this little hill thingy is where the final collectible for Chapter 7 is at. So we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Chapter 8 now. So this is literally right in the beginning. This is right after the cutscene. We're going to fall down into this little platform down here. And then this is where the 1 out of 6 collectible for Chapter 8 is going to be. So right in our path. The next one, just follow where we go. It's not too far from this little section. We're going to go over to this little part. We're not going to try to climb that vine because we cannot. But instead, we're going to go over to this little platform over here. Now, this is where the first pulley thing is going to happen. Now, instead of going forward, go over to the right. And behind that exact same tree where you kind of got the pull lever, you can still make it even if you go the other way. This is where the second collectible for this chapter is at. Now, this one is along the story, so don't worry. You literally have to go this way. This is where you'll see it at the end of the bark. And these enemies are going to pop out. Just take them down pretty quick. And then it's right here, 3 out of 6. Now, from the same spot forward, we're going to go back into this little tree. As you can see, there's a couple platforms there. And we're going to make our way around the tree. We're going to climb up on top of this little vine. And there's a 4th out of 6. So now this is after fighting a couple of the mini bosses. We're just going to go forward. We're going to be doing a bunch of like the pulley things where we just pull up. A bunch of these dudes are going to pop out. But don't worry, this is actually along the way too, so don't worry about it. And it should be pretty easy. Now, next on up, this one is still just going forward. Again, we're going to use the pull thing once again. Now, this, as you can see, there's a huge vine. Now, instead of going forward at that point, just go look back and jump into this little platform down here. And this is where the final collectible for Chapter 8 should be. Alright, so Chapter 9 does not have its collectibles till like the middle of the story, so do not worry, continue going into the story until you come across these two cutscenes, the one where the entire gang is there together, and where the raccoon is pretty much jumps on your back, okay? So don't think that, like you probably missed it. It's like, no, you're safe. Until you see those two cutscenes, just a little bit forward, you'll see that this one is literally right in our path, so nothing to worry about that one. Moving on to the next one. This is the boss fight where the winged pretty much pig comes out, the one with the double barrel guns. Just follow where we go. This is still like along the path of the story. Just instead of going forward, we're going to take a left right after this little pulley thing here. So again, this is the boss fight. You got to break down the vine. Just climb up there and just, follow exactly where we go. Take a turn. And there's 2 out of 6. Now, this is the little cutscene, as you saw, where the dragon head is going to fall. just after that, like literally right from there. This one is right in our path, so nothing to worry about this one. And now we're halfway into the collectibles for this chapter. Now, right away, turn back around, okay? There's a little ledge right there where there is a hidden one under this little house, and there's 4 out of 6. So now moving on to number 5. This is where kind of like a little mini boss fight again. A couple Jack in the Box and the little samurai dudes pop out. Just kind of getting some of those little yellow orbs. We're gonna climb on top. So this is along still the story. We're just gonna go over, wall run a few times, use the little pole caster thing. And again, this one should be right in our way. So nothing too, I guess, mysterious about this one. And again, our final one is just right from that little same spot. We're going to climb on top, follow exactly where we go. These monsters are going to pop out, enemies. Just kind of skip them if you want, just for the heck of it. And we're going to jump over to this little part, this little rock, and right underneath it should be the final collectible for Chapter 9. Only 2 more chapters. Alright, so moving on to Chapter 10, and for just context here as well, after the final collectible from Chapter 9, you have to go through this, like, this little platform thing, which is going to take some while, so you should be good. I believe Chapter 10 pops out after the cutscene happens right there with the raccoon and Wang. Now, this is still early on in the Chapter 10. This is all pretty much straightforward, but just for context, you know, so you guys aren't confused, because yeah, it never really says like that it's like a next mission, you know what I mean? So just for context, here it is. And also, hopefully at this point you're already done with your upgrades, because again, if you don't do all the upgrades, you're kind of screwed and you're gonna have to do this all over again. So hopefully you do. And this next one is right there, right in front of us. And again, Chapter 10 has 1 out of 4. Now, right from that first one, we're going to go over to number 2. Instead of going towards the left, go over to the right. There's 3 little platforms there. And we're going to go over this little iceberg down here. And we're going to wall run. And there should be 2 out of 4. So we're halfway done. Again, these next 2 are going to have 4. This part is where you use the polecaster and you actually fall down, just for context. We're going to use the polecaster once again. And this one should actually be on our path, so we shouldn't have any issues with this one. Yeah, pretty straightforward. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, right straightforward. Now, this next part, this is where we're going to have to use the polecaster twice in a row. We're going to climb the vines, or I guess we could just skip through it. But instead of going over to the left where that giant vine is, go around this rock, climb this vine, and this is where the final collectible for Chapter 10 should be. So one more, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last mission here. So just for context here, this is Chapter 11. This is still going towards the story, so don't worry. The cutscene where you pretty much fall off the dragon, you're going to land, and then these 2 flying pigs are going to be there. Either you can take them down, or you can just kind of cheese it like what I did. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But at least that's the point of context where you got to kind of start watching out. Now, keep on going forward. This is still going like towards the story. We're going to climb up to 2 vines. And then there's going to be a little cave where one of the upgrades is going to be at. Now, next on up, don't worry. This is all the way until you're inside the dragon's stomach. You'll see that the heart is there. There's that giant green thing to go over there. But we're not going to go over there. Instead, we're going to go around. We're going to use this little green jumpy thing. And this is where the second collectible is at, so we're halfway there. Now, continue going to the story, and you'll come across this section where you're going to actually have to do a really tough mini-boss fight where a bunch of them kind of pop out. Again, just a little heads up, to make it go faster, just go for the mini-bosses to kill them, because if you go for the regular enemies, they're going to keep on spawning. So just go down to this little section. Instead of going over to the polecaster, just jump down. And this is the 3rd one. Now from this little section, the last one, ladies and gentlemen, there's a huge green button, whatever thingy that you want to jump on. It's going to take you all the way on top. Now use the polecaster, wall run, and then at this point, look over to your left, and there should be the final one, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully at this point, you have all the upgrades, or have all the challenges from all the upgrades, and then as you'll see here on screen, We're going to pop the trophy and the platinum as well, as I did this on PlayStation because it was on PlayStation Now. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this, and also just a heads up too, there's still another fight up ahead, so in case if you still haven't done all the challenges, there it is. But if you found this video helpful, I would appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. If you need help with any other trophies, let me know. Check back for my channel as I will have other trophies for this game. Anyways, thank you guys, and hope you all have a good one. Peace.